Hi everybody, Jason with Happy Tales. Beth's on the back side of the camera as always because she doesn't like to be on this side. I hope everybody's doing great today. A couple weeks ago we talked about changing out some furniture when we did our carpet, which I'll link that guy right up here. When we redid our carpet, we talked about replacing our dinette and we had ordered a piece of furniture. Well, I'll have Beth spin around here and show you what we have. So this is our new table. As you can see, it is 90 degrees off of where our old dinette was. The old dinette came straight out through the slide and the chairs sat by the window and by the love seat there. Making some YouTube videos.
We actually have a table.
Yeah. The first one that came in was a little broke, so we ended up getting this one. We really like the setup. The table's a little taller. We did have to change a couple things. I originally wanted this guy to be just a little bit shorter so it would fit underneath the valances here. Unfortunately, it's an inch too tall. It is on metal risers, so not much we could do about that. We originally did take out this wooden facade here, but we decided to put it back because we felt that it was a nice little shelf that, as you can see, we have like salt and pepper shakers and sometimes we put our coasters down there. It just works better to have it there. What we did to fasten this guy down, nothing really. What we did is it is fastened to the wood here, the little facade that I was just telling you about. We have screws that come up that way, and before we leave, we're going to put an angle down here on the foot so you can see that it just doesn't tear that out. We are totally pleased with this. This is so much more functional for us. Beth is able to put her laptop up there and work during the day and have great scenery. Now the question is, what did we do with our old dinette? Did we throw it out? What did we do with it? Well, we didn't, and I'll show you what we did, and we'll kind of give you a step-by-step, but I'll have Beth span over here and you'll see that in all honesty is our old dinette table. And I will show you kind of a process as we went along of what we did and how we got it to mount up like that. So I'm going to take a little break here, and with the magic of technology, we'll show you how we put this all together. So this here is the bottom side of our countertop, and there is a disclaimer here. This Corian is fairly fragile, and when we were pulling the frame off, it snapped. So we did put epoxy on here. It didn't go all the way through, but it did do a chunk of it, so I just wanted to get it covered. So that's why we have this like this. But with our brackets, what I did do is I got a couple 1x2s, or yeah, at least 1x2 of oak. And what I'm going to do is I cut them to size. We're going to put them down here. But as you see, I pressed in some 1/4x20 by 1.5 bolts because I wanted to have that rigidity of the bolt instead of a screw to our bracket. And here's our bracket. It's very simple. Okay, just like so. So when that comes down here, that is just gonna pop in here like so, and then we can screw this end in the counter. But I kind of wanted to show you guys as we put this together on what we did. And what I excuse me, what I did is we're gonna have 16-inch center. So from bolt to bolt will be 16 inches in the span. Not that that matters much, excuse me, in the RV world, because what we're putting on isn't a studded center, but it just worked really perfect on here, so I just went with 16-inch centers. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some liquid nails, we're going to put this down, and then I'm going to clamp this to here, and we'll let it sit overnight, and then we'll show you as we install it tomorrow. Alrighty, I just thought I would jump in here real quick. When we filmed this compared to down the road a couple months later, we originally used this liquid nails, and at the time it worked really good, but through travel it did happen to break that bond. So what we did buy is we bought some of this Dynagrip that has the granite mirror and counter, I think, marble. And that so far has worked awesome. It is it's performed a great bond on that material between that oak and that corian. So I just wanted to throw that in here real quick so you guys had transparency and knew that we started with this, ended up with this, and this is by far. So my recommendation is use this Dynagrip. Not affiliated, but it's just working. Okay, so we have you saw us put the liquid nails on it, and we've got our clamps on there. I might put one more clamp here because it raised it just a little bit. These are just so hard to get a good clamp without having a come through. So what I'll probably do is put a board on the bottom side and then just clamp here in the middle so that we get good adhesion. But you can see we have some coming out of the sides here and here, back here. That's what we want. We got a nice good thing, nice good adhesion, and we measure across and we are right at 16 inches, which is what I wanted. So we're flush on the back, which is where we want, so our brackets are flush when we mount them. Our bolts are all lined up, and we're ready to rock and roll. So 24 hours, we'll let it cure, and we'll slap it on the cabinet. So we'll fast forward one day and we'll check it out. All right, so what we did here is, don't mind the holes, I'll show you those holes as we get in here. We measured out this from side to side to make sure that this old countertop is actually going to fit and that it wouldn't overhang. And what we did is I took a 1x8 here, oak. I mitered it to 45 degrees on each side to kind of fit this little taper here that we have on this routed edge. And I have stained this to kind of get it close to it. This is kind of a chestnut. And then I marked the same holes that are on the back of the shelf on these brackets right here, these 3 holes, and they coincide with this. Now, as you can see, this fits up here quite nice. Yes, I understand that it's not the same stain, but we're close, and to be honest, it's going to be covered a lot of the time. Now, this is just a little piece of Lexar, so there is no way that that would support the weight of that guy, especially going down the road. So that's why we're going to use a 1x12, or excuse me, 1x8 on the inside and the outside. These guys are at 17 1/4 on both the inside and the outside. What I did is I put these guys together, marked out my holes, then I drilled them through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this through, and I'll take this guy real quick, and you'll see that we had to take this drawer out to get to it. And you can kind of see the 3 holes over here and the 3 holes there. Now that board is going to go from this end to this end, and then the bolts are going to go through it. I just bought some 20 by 2 inch bolts, and they'll go through the bracket, through the 2 pieces of wood, then we'll nut them on the back side. And so that's going to be how we put that together. It's going to go pretty quick. We've already kind of dry fit this already. So we will put this in. Unfortunately, I need Beth's hands, so we won't show the process of actually putting this in, but we will show the finished product as we put it together. I'm hoping that we don't get too much of a blind here, but we have 6 bolts holding this on. As you can see, we've got our 1x8 sitting here tied in, and then we have 3 bolts on this side, 3 bolts on that side, and then I'll show you what it looks like in here. You can see that we have the backing plate here and here. And now you can see that we have a nice reveal here. The LED lights that are in there kind of get washed out, but this is the overall thing. And the nice thing about this, I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Beth will be able to put, you know, an Instapot here, or even a toaster when she's making, Well, the other nice thing is if we have our kids over, we now have even more of a eating surface for them, and it's pretty nice. It just lifts up and it goes like so. So it stows away. We have a nice reveal. Now this guy was, I believe, 36 inches?
I think so.
36 or 38 inches when it was the dinette. We did cut it down with a normal circular saw. We just taped up the surface, cut it down. We cut it down to 27 inches. For us, we figured that it wouldn't be dragging on here. And that's as simple as that. So if you guys got any questions, let us know. It was an actually fairly simple process to do. And it turned out really nice. We like it, and we're sure it's going to be functional for us. So, again, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everything that you guys do for us, and we'll see you guys next week. Once again, thank you from Happy Tales. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.